Hi, welcome back to the channel. A new month is upon us, and that means it is time to do another most anticipated horror book release video. April is finally here. It is one of my favorite months of the year. That is because it is my birthday month. Actually, one of the release dates in this video is going to take place on my birthday. So, which one will that be? Stick around and find out. Grab some paper and pen, get ready to take some notes, some screenshots, whatever you need to do to remember to add some of these to your TBR. At the end of the video, be sure to comment and let me know if you plan on putting any of these on your TBR. I would love to hear from you. There are some pretty cool titles in this one, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So sometimes release dates get pushed back or pushed up, and that has happened to a few of these books. I had to go back and make sure that they are all on the proper days. Actually, one of them was already released at the end of March. That's going to be the first one that I'm talking about. That is My Dearest, Darkest by Kayla Cottingham, released by Sourcebooks Fire. It comes in at around 352 pages. It was actually set to release on April 5th, but it came out on March 29th, so it missed the March boat, so I'm just going to put it in here because it sounds really interesting. It's actually one of the ones high on the top of my list for this one. So this story is about Finch Chamberlain. She is a new student at an academy, but months before she started school, she was involved in a terrible accident with her parents, which should have left her dead at the bottom of a river. But something monstrous and ancient and terrifying wouldn't let her drown. Finch doesn't know why she woke up after her heart stopped, but since dying, she's felt a constant pull from the school and the surrounding town of Rainwater, like something on the island is calling to her. So this other girl in school called Selena St. Clair knows something is wrong with Finch, but she can't help but be drawn to her. One night, Finch, Selena, and some of their friends accidentally summon this carnivorous creature from the bottom of the school that promises to grant them all their deepest, darkest desires. But of course there's a catch. Finch and Selena must learn to work together to stop the horror they unleashed before it consumes the entire island. This next book came out on April 5th. It is actually a collection of dark horror poetry written by women. It is called Under Her Skin. It's edited by Lindy Ryan and Toni Miller and features dozens of poetry written by cis and trans women as well as non-binary femmes in horror. So definitely put this on your radar and go check it out. These next three books all come out on April 12th. The first one is And Then I Woke Up by Malcolm Devlin by Tor.com. It's about 176 pages, so it is a novella, I believe. And this sounds like a really bizarre story. In a world reeling from an unusual plague, monsters lurk in the streets while terrified survivors arm themselves and roam the countryside in packs. Or perhaps something very different is happening. When a disease affects how reality is perceived, it's hard to be certain of anything. Spence is one of the cured, living at the Ironside Rehabilitation Facility. Haunted by guilt, he refuses to face the changed world until a new inmate challenges him to help her find her old crew. But if he can't tell the truth from the lies, how will he know if he has earned the redemption he dreams of? How will he know he hasn't just made things worse? The next one coming out on April 12th is from Max Booth III, and it is called Maggots Screaming. It is from his new publishing company called Ghoulish Books. It's about 342 pages, and the Goodreads synopsis does not give much away at all about this one. All it says is, on a hot summer weekend in San Antonio, Texas, a father and son bond after discovering 3 impossible corpses buried in their backyard. I have heard a few other YouTubers talk about this one, namely Brad Proctor and Jay from The World According to Jay. They actually did a live stream on their paper cuts that featured Max Booth III, where they talked about this new book. Sounds really bizarre. I think the corpses are like a family of corpses and they talk, and it sounds really crazy. I did read Touch the Night by Max Booth. I really enjoyed that one. I haven't read We Need to Do Something, but I did watch the movie. That one was really weird. I didn't really much care for that one, to be honest, but I mean, the cover for this is fantastic. The title's really cool. The premise sounds really cool, so you might want to check this one out too. The last book coming out on April 12th is called The Doctor's Demons by Maria Abrams. This comes from Clash Books, and it is about 236 pages. So the Goodreads synopsis for this one says, child psychiatrist Hannah Cohen thought she could handle difficult cases, but medical school never prepared her for Elena, nor the demon that's possessing her. Hannah finds a way to rid Elena of her demon, but not without a price. Years later, Hannah has grown comfortable exorcising the demons of her patients until she meets Lucas. Whatever is inside of Lucas is far more powerful than anything she has ever faced. The denizens of hell are angry with Hannah, and they sent one of their leaders to destroy her. So this sounds like a really good possession story. This next book comes out on April 19th. That is called End of the World House by Adrienne Celt. It comes in at about 320 pages from Simon & Schuster. This is a story about Bertie and Kate. They have been best friends since high school, but one of them is about to move from San Francisco to Los Angeles. So before that happens, the girls decide to take one last trip together to Paris. The vacation is also a sort of last hurrah, coming during a ceasefire in a series of escalating world conflicts. One night in Paris, they meet a strange man in a bar who offers them a private tour of the Louvre. The women find themselves alone in the museum where nothing is quite as it seems. Caught up in a day that keeps repeating itself, Bertie and Kate are eventually separated, and Bertie is faced with a mystery that threatens to derail everything. In order to make her way back to Kate, Bertie has to figure out how much control she has over her future and her past, and how to survive an apocalypse when the world keeps refusing to end. So this sounds really interesting. It's kind of like a Groundhog Day premise. I guess they have to keep repeating the same day the world ends, apparently, until they make things right. This next one also comes out on April 19th. It is called I Am the Ghost in Your House by Maria Romasco-Moore. It comes from Delacorte Press, and it is the largest book in this video, coming in at about 432 pages. So the synopsis for this one says, Pi is the ghost in your house. She is not dead, she is invisible. The way she looks changes depending on what is behind her. A girl of glass. A girl who is a window. If she stands in front of the floral wallpaper, she is full of roses. For Pi's entire life, it has been Pi and her mother, just the two of them traveling across America. They have slept in trains, in mattress stores, and on the bare ground. They have probably slept in your house. But Pi is lonely, and now at 17, her mother's given her a gift, the choice of the next city they will go to. And Pi knows exactly where she wants to go, Pittsburgh, where she fell in love with a girl who she plans to find once again, and this time she will reveal herself. Only how can anyone love an invisible girl? This is a magnificent story of love and friendship and learning to see yourself in a world based on appearances. So the last two books in this video are coming out on April 26th, which is my birthday. How old am I going to be? Oh, that don't matter. Let's see what is coming out on my birthday. The first one is called The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon. It comes from Gallery Scout Press at about 352 pages. So this one is told in two different timelines. The first one being 1978. Could that be the year I was born? This one says, at her renowned treatment center in picturesque Vermont, the brilliant psychiatrist, Dr. Helen Hildreth, is acclaimed for her compassionate work with the mentally ill. But when she's at home with her cherished grandchildren, Vi and Eric, she's just grand. Teaching them how to take care of their pets, preparing their home-cooked meals, providing them with care and attention and love. Then one day, Gran brings home a child to stay with the family. Iris, silent, hollow-eyed, skittish, and feral, does not behave like a normal girl. Still, Violet is thrilled to have a new playmate. She and Eric invite Iris to join their monster club, where they catalog all kinds of monsters and dream up ways to defeat them. Before long, Iris comes out of her shell. She and Vi and Eric do everything together, ride their bicycles, go to the drive-in, meet at their clubhouse in secret to hunt monsters. Because, as Vi explains, monsters are everywhere. Then, in 2019, Lizzie Shelley, the host of the popular podcast Monsters Among Us, is traveling to Vermont, where a young girl has been abducted and a monster sighting has the town in an uproar. She's determined to hunt it down because Lizzie knows better than anyone that monsters are real, and one of them is her very own sister. The last video in this book... What? The last book for this video is one you've probably already heard about. That is the Fervor by Alma Katsu. Comes from G.P. Putnam's Sons. Comes in at around 320 pages. So this is a psychological and supernatural twist on the horrors of the Japanese-American internment camps in World War II. So this is set in 1944. As World War II rages on, the threat has come to the home front. In a remote corner of Idaho, Miko Briggs and her daughter, Aiko, are desperate to return home. Following Miko's husband's enlistment as an Armed Force pilot in the Pacific months prior, Miko and Aiko are taken from their home in Seattle and sent to one of the internment camps in the Midwest. Mother and daughter attempt to hold on to elements of their old life in the camp when a mysterious disease begins to spread among those interned. What starts as a minor cold quickly becomes spontaneous fits of violence and aggression, even death. When a team of doctors arrive, Miko and her daughter team up with a newspaper reporter and widowed missionary to investigate, and it becomes clear to them that something more sinister is afoot. A demon from the stories of Miko's childhood, hell-bent on infiltrating their already strange world. This is inspired by the Japanese yokai and the spider demon. The Fervor explores a supernatural threat beyond what anyone saw coming, the danger of demonization, a mysterious contagion, and the search to stop its spread before it's too late. So that's it. Those are the 9 titles that I thought you might want to know about that are coming out in April or at the end of March. You know, it is what it is. A lot of these books appeal to me, namely My Dearest, Darkest, and Then I Woke Up, Maggots Screaming, and The Doctor's Demons. Those all sound really good, as well as The Children on the Hill. That sounds pretty good too. Which one of these titles are you going to be putting on your TBR? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. So this is actually going to be my last video for a few weeks. At the end of the month, right before my birthday, I'm actually planning a trip to Asheville, North Carolina. I've never been there. I'm super excited to be checking it out, hitting up some used bookstores, some breweries, you know, just exploring. And I'll probably do a travel vlog for that. So be sure you come back at the end of April. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.